Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. Um, and Hope everybody is well. And this is the Everton versus Newcastle United match preview. So before we get into the show, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It does help the channel to search. So please do give it a like. Thank you very much indeed. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of the great community we have here. And also that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming show as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in the chat by clicking the $sign as well. Okay, just currently scores going around the doors at the moment. Wolverhampton Wanderers are 1-0 up at Burnley at half time at Molineux. And Luton Town are currently holding Arsenal to a 0-0 draw after 17 minutes at Kenilworth Road. In the UEFA Nations League for the women's football, Netherlands are currently beating Belgium 1-0 at half time, and England are currently 4-0 up against Scotland at Hampden Park as well. So England going very well there indeed. And in the Nations League, between you could say it's an Emerald Island derby between Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland, and Republic of Ireland win that game 6-1. So there we go with that one as well. Right, okay. Further to, obviously, last night we did a transfer show, and obviously it was a great transfer show because not only was it the transfer show, but we also heard that breaking news that Sunderland decided to sack their manager. And of course, it meant I kept the show going a little bit longer because I felt we had to have a little bit of a gloat. Yes, we do like to gloat. Now, the thing is, but the thing is, if the shoe's on your left foot and that was us, don't you think the Mackhams would be sitting there gloating? Yes, of course the bloody would be, you know? And, you know, I've seen some of the comments coming from them, you know, saying at least we're a working class team. We don't have a team. You know, some Sunderland fan put out there saying we have a working class club, unlike your club who are full of murderers. And I'm like, oh, for God's sake, honestly, these people don't have a bloody clue what they're talking about. You know, they just need to just stop what they're doing. But also, as I was saying about doing the transfer show last night as well, we did speak about some transfers, and this one in particular, David De Gea. Look, it has been reported today that David De Gea has actually said if Newcastle come calling and require his services, then he is open to moving to Newcastle United. Now, even though he hasn't had a club, he has been training all this time in readiness in case the club comes knocking. There was some Saudi Pro League clubs supposedly looking at him, but didn't materialise. But he has said if Newcastle come calling, he is open to coming to Newcastle United. So, you know, if we do need his services, then I suppose, yeah, why not? And maybe there may be a good, you know, maybe he drops his wage demands as well. So maybe just, and that's a good way of seeing it out as well. So, you know, we will see what happens. No doubt we'll find out in time if it does come off or not. Right, I'm going to get into some comments first of all. And Holly was straight in. She says, hi, Tony and Roly. My score predictions, 2-0 or 2-1 to Newcastle. Yeah, they're not bad shout, Holly. Bia says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good evening to you, Bia. Mad Max says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Yeah, absolutely fine, mate. Hope you're well too. Bia says, Anthony Gordon brace. Gary says, a hat trick. Would be even better, evening all. Good evening to you, Gary. Ari, Tony and Roly says, Ronald, absolutely fine, mate. Yeah, I hope you're fine as well, mate. Mighty Max says, evening, Tony, Roly, Bia, and MM and all. Good evening to you, Mighty Mac. Hope you're well. Paul Gardner, evening everyone. Good evening, Paul. Hope you're well, mate. Mad Max says, I say put the under 18s out and rest the lads for a proper match against a real team, and it would still be an easy 3 points for us against the scruffy blue bin dippers. Arsenal have just scored, says Mason. So Arsenal have scored now. Okay. Just BBC haven't shown that yet. Oh, yes, they have. Martinelli scored for Arsenal. So they are now 1-0 up at Luton Town. What a shame, because I would like to see Luton Town cause an upset there. And the Burnley game against Wolverhampton is now in the second half after Hwang Hee-chan's goal in the first half, just before half time in that game. Evening, Tony and Roly, says Ian Fleming. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're well. Ronald says the Scottish Lasses team look exception to being accused of not taking the game seriously, but England and the Olympics. Yeah, absolutely. It's 1-1, not at Luton. It's 1-1. Not at Luton.
They meant now. Look next message.
Hang on. It's 1-1 now at Luton.
Yeah.
Okay. Now. Oh, okay then. That's
it's from the corner.
That's pretty interesting to see.
I've got it on. Yeah, it's from a corner. Good header. Poorly defended.
So Arteta won't be happy then, will he?
Last.
What?
I say, blast steering me, Arteta won't be happy.
And it was Osho who scored for Luton Town. So, thing is, it's all good for Luton Town that because, just shows. Yeah, absolutely, Roly. I haven't seen the goal, but I'm taking what you're saying that it's a free header. So, absolutely. And, wouldn't it be great if Luton pulls off a shock tonight? I did say, and I did say this, it wouldn't surprise me if Luton Town stay up this season because Luton Town have got something about them and they could easily stay up this season because they've got a bit of fight about them, So
but you did say Burnley and Finch in the top 10.
I don't rule it out. I wouldn't rule them out staying up in all honesty. So I'll just go back to these comments just quickly and then Ronald says Specsave has supporting you, Tony Law. No, I didn't say the next comment down, so that's why. Because I didn't scroll up that far. Bia says goal celebration of Mavis' back garden next door. Yeah. The referee's got to pop into Mary's for a cup of tea, and then you'll go to Mavis and get a bit of fruitcake at half time. Or you might have to go to Betty's and you get a fruit salad. Talking about Mary's in the chat. Evening, Tony and Roly and everyone in the chat. I hope you're all keeping well. Yeah, absolutely fine, Mary, and I hope you're well too. Gary says, I think if Luton don't stay up, they'll probably go down. Yeah, obviously, Gary, yeah. But I just think Luton have got a bit of fight about them, that's all. I mean, look, they were close to pulling off a result against Liverpool. They were so unlucky.
I mean,
they beat Everton away.
The promoted teams, they're the ones with the most fight.
Yeah, considering they had a bad start to the season, Rob Edwards has turned them around. And that's all credit to him. On the other hand, today we saw the news that it's the worst kept secret in football. Paul Heckingbottom has been shown the door at Sheffield United. He has been told to leave. And as soon as he walked out, the door reopened and in walked Chris Wilder. If that's not a conspiracy of getting rid of your manager, then I don't know what is. But, you know, um, they've obviously been talking to Wilder for a while and just said, do you want to come back? I don't think it'll make any difference, to be honest. Jesse was good with them first time around, kept them up, and then he had that, they had that bad start, and then, they hadn't won, and then all of a sudden Newcastle came along and they got 3 points off us. The day Ryan Fraser got sent off when Cavachid was in charge. But at the end of the day, look, I don't think Sheffield United will stay up regardless. I think they're doomed already. And, we beat them 8-0 away and they've still got to come to St James's Park yet. So God help when they come to St James's Park, because it might be double figures next time. Who knows? Are you surprised the way they've treated Paul Heckingbottom, Roly?
In a way, I mean, it was on a hiding to nothing because they sold their best players in the summer and didn't replace them. So it was on a hiding to nothing. So, yeah, I can sort of see. I mean, it's almost, sometimes it seems like they've just given up.
Yeah.
There's no fight. There's no spirit. Right, it's okay. It's fair enough getting beaten, getting thrashed by someone like us or Arsenal. To get thrashed by Burnley, another team that's battling relegation, I think that was the final straw. Because you can take, if you're a team like Sheffield United, you can take getting thrashed by Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City, but Burnley,
yeah,
they've not been in great form. It's just you just can't do it.
Yeah, the way they got taken apart by Burnley, it was just 5-0 against a team that haven't set the Premier League right. But that just shows they're on the trajectory to going down. So that's what's going to happen with them. Ronald says, the Arsenal fans accusing Garth Crooks of being a nobody man for criticising Arteta. Dear me. Gary says, mind you, if Luton don't go down, they'll probably stay up. Yes. We get the message, Gary. We get the message, mate. We like a bit of sarcasm on here. Lee Kelly says, evening, Tony and Roly, how are you all keeping? Very well, mate. Very well. Could you see Heckingbottom going to Sunderland? Personally, I don't think it'll happen. Him going to Sunderland. Yes, we know he's an ex-Sunderland player, albeit a youth player, I think. But look, I'm not sure if he's going to Sunderland or not. Personally, I wouldn't think so, Lee. But there is one person in the frame for the Sunderland job who could do a great job for Sunderland, and he could get them out the Championship as well, because he's brilliant at getting teams out the Championship. And, So, without further ado, let me introduce you to possibly Sunderland's new manager. Here he comes. It's the return of the Cavachid, Steve Bruce. Yes, Steve Bruce could be the new Sunderland manager. Go back to Sunderland, Steve, and get them out the Championship into League One. That's why he's great at getting teams out the Championship, because he did promise to take West Brom out the Championship, but he didn't tell them which way he was taking them. He took them on the other direction, down over. They were in trouble when he left. So, yeah, look, this man is the answer to Sunderland's prayers, We'll never forget about the 5-1 against you on Halloween in 2010. I was at that game when Kevin Nolan bagged a hat-trick. Do you know what? I would love it if he got manager of Sunderland, because just to go there and just absolutely smash them to bits, absolutely stuff them, and I'm sure I'm sure the Newcastle fans would give Steve Bruce a horrid time of abuse. I'm sure he would. But yeah, there's only one man for that Sunderland job, and there he is on the screen. Go to Sunderland, Cabbage Sheet. Go and take the job. Go and take the job.
Well,
And I'm sure the Sunderland fans will adore you because you are their messiah.
I think there's another manager that they could possibly have, but I'm not sure that they'd let his current employers let him go. Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. Well, you say that, manager. Do you want to have a good... Right, Roly and people in the chat, do you want to have a good laugh tonight, by the way? Now, one of our regular viewers, I don't think she's in the chat yet at the moment, but Julie J, who's on, she actually replied to my tweet last night. And apparently there was a Sunderland fan on TalkSport, because we're obviously talking about Tony Mowbray going. And this Sunderland fan, do you know what he turned around and said? Right? And this is the funny part about it, right? And, you know, this is how deluded they really are. And to think if this was ever going to happen, he must be playing fantasy soccer or playing PlayStation games, because I tell you now, it doesn't happen in the real world. Well, anyway, without further ado, let me tell you. Anyway, this Sunderland fan went on TalkSport and he said he wants this man as Sunderland is their manager because he would do a fantastic job for Sunderland and he would bring the good times back to Sunderland. Here he comes. They want our gaffer, Eddie Howe. I nearly pissed myself laughing. I could not believe when Julie put that out there. The audacity of a Sunderland fan to go on TalkSport and say that he wanted Eddie Howe. Well, I'll tell you what, Sunderland fans. If you want Eddie Howe, I've got two words for you. The first one begins with F. The second one is off. Exactly. Because I'll tell you now, there is no way Sunderland's getting Eddie Howe. And not only that, Eddie Howe would probably tell Sunderland to F off as well. There is not a chance Eddie Howe is going to Sunderland. And I just thought, these fans, I don't know what they're on. Yes, we know Eddie Howe's a great manager, but he's Newcastle's manager. And he would never go to the unwashed, that's for sure.
He wants a proper
Absolutely
job.
not. There's no way he would cross that divide. Eddie is not thick, he's not stupid. And, you know, and no doubt Eddie has now done his homework and looked at previous games of us against Sunderland. And he's probably thought, I bet Eddie Howe's excited for this game. I bet he can't wait for it in a way, even though he won't tell anybody, because he'll probably get asked this in the press conference tomorrow. Or, what about the Sunderland game? And he's probably, Eddie will say, I'm not interested at the moment because we've got Premier League games before then, which is true. But I bet deep down, Eddie Howe can't wait for this game. I bet he can't.
I think he can't wait for the Everton game because that's the next one. He exactly. Concentrates on the next game.
Right, I'm just going to go into some comments here. Ian Fleming says, I would rather see Bruce and Sunderland that deserve each other. Burnley, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, absolutely. Gary says, I hope Bruce is their manager when we give them a spanking. Talking about Julie, she's in the chat now. There you are, Julie J. Hi, Julie, hope you're well. Julie says, Cabbage Heap, what a sight to behold. I would laugh if Bruce got the Celtic job one day, says Mason. Oh, Mason's pushing it at the moment with Ian, isn't he? I dread to think what Ian's thinking of you, Mason. The West Brom fans levelled with us, like, yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, good evening, Mason, but not now, says Ian. Yeah, Mason, I thought so. Mason, face green smelling, says Mary. Yeah, Julie says, yeah, the caller actually said that. Eddie Howe was manager at Sunderland. Was the Mackin fuming? Good evening, Julie says. Mad Mag Mary says, feck. Yeah, absolutely. Lee says, Eddie wouldn't piss on Sunderland if they were on fire. No, I wouldn't either, I tell you. Let them fuckers burn. I'd rather turn myself the other way and piss somewhere else. Ian says, no way will Howe go to the Mackhams. Ronald says, what a sad Mackham bastard. Julie says, great pick out there, Mr. Bean and Mr. Blobby, and where's Wally lining up for Sunderland job? Oh, if I say that, Julie, I'll have to have a look for it then. McLaren and Bruce. At least I hope Gordon gets a hat-trick against Everton. There's a combo. Gary says, what gets me about that Mackham is, where's he got the money to buy the crack cocaine? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Bruce is half Irish as well. Ian says, I ignore Mason, Julie, and Mason's laughing at Ian. It's great when we get this sort of banter in the chat, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic. It's a good job Ian doesn't hold grudges, isn't it? Oh, well, I hope not anyway, but no, Ian doesn't hold grudges. Like, he let you off, Mason. I'm sure he will. I mean, Roly, what's your thoughts? This Sunderland caller going on Talk Sports saying he wants Eddie Howe. What do you want to say about that?
You've got more chance of finding.
If there's any Mackhams watching, Roly, you tell them. You tell them exactly what you think.
They've got more chance of finding a ton of rocking horse shit than they have of getting Eddie Howe as their manager.
There we go. In other words, they've got no chance, have they, Roly?
Also, they've got two chances, Slim and none, and Slim just rode out of town.
Yeah. Well, they've got two hopes, Bob Hope and no hope, and they've certainly not got Bob Hope, so it's no hope. Oh, God, Mason. More chance of Jimmy Savile getting the job at Sunderland than Howe. We'll have to dig him up first, Mason. Rigor Mortis is probably well and truly set in. Yeah, so honestly, I just can't believe that even a Sunderland fan had the audacity to go on TalkSport and say that. I would love to know what the whoever it was they were speaking to in the the TalkSport studio. They must have been pissing themselves laughing underneath, thinking Eddie Howe. The Sunderland couldn't afford to lace his boots, never mind get him in. They would have to buy his coaching team as well, and they couldn't afford it.
I mean, why would he want to go? Is the first thing, because he's a club that is heading for the stars, heading for the top, and then you've got the Mackhams. Now, if he was at, let's say, if he was at at Bournemouth sort of like 10 years ago, when they weren't in the Premier League, that may have been an option. But now they've got no hope.
No, absolutely not. Ian says I wouldn't be sure about that, Tony, about Mason. Jimmy Savile is Lee Catmull's dad. Lee, give Schofield the job. He loves having to touch up on the bench. Ian says he's going. It's 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. I think, does he mean he's going for a 2-1 scoreline? I'm not sure. I think he must be meaning he's going for a 2-1 scoreline. Don't know how the England women are getting on at the minute. They'll be at 5-0 now, England. And that's a goal from Frank Kirby. Greenwood started the scoring off, Alex Greenwood, on 12 minutes. Then Reece James' sister Lauren scored 2 goals in a minute. Then Beth Mead making a return from that long-term injury. She was missed at the World Cup. She scored. And then obviously Kirby's just scored to make it 5-0. It's looking like a bit of a hammering for Scotland tonight, isn't it? So there we go. Gary says, I can't believe you're actually discussing this. No, we're not discussing it. We just thought we had to put out there. It was just so funny. And I'm sorry, but look, come on. It's just so funny that a Sunderland fans actually had that audacity to come out with that. I never thought that would ever happen. It just shows you how much people value Eddie Howe. Sunderland have to find some kind of solace in that kind of light, don't they? You will find the Sunderland job being advertised at your local job centre soon, says Mary. Yes, coming to a job centre near you.
I think that 2-1 was...
Arsenal 2-0.
It's 2-1.
Ian says 2-1, yeah. Sorry, 2-1, yeah. Trevor says, give Barton the job, as he's used to mourning, so understands fans' dues. I don't think Joey Barton would even entertain Sunderland.
No.
Ronald says, I've seen one Mackham State and Leeds wrote us off in 73 and the Sheffield Wednesday result. Talking to Julie. Trevor says, you know what, you can't take the piss off shit, as that's what Sunderland is, a shithole. Well, you're not wrong there. It is. It's an absolute dive. The only decent thing is, at least when you go to the match at the stadium late, you can get the metro and get off at the stadium. So at least you got to, at least you don't have to go far to get the metro. So yeah. So that's what it is. But look, like I say, I just can't believe. I just can't believe the way they've gone on. They're reacting to this sacking, and then one of them just decides, let's go on to the let's go on to the Talk Sport and ask for Eddie Howe. How stupid. How stupid. So yeah. Right. So I think now we'll get into the match review, because that is what this is all about. Match preview, sorry, not review, preview. Right. So we head to Everton. Splat says, evening, Tony and Roly. Good evening, Splat. Hope you're well. Ian says, best thing from Sunderland, the A19 road back out. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Lee, either, mate. So absolutely. It's the best way out. So we go to Everton on Thursday evening, and it's on Amazon Prime, 7:30 kickoff. Spurs play the same night as well against West Ham. So at least both teams are playing on the same night. Yeah. So if we do go and beat Spurs, Postecoglou can't come out and say, well, Newcastle had disadvantage because they played the day before us. Well, no, we didn't, because we're playing the same night. But then Postecoglou is not a manager like Ten Hag, who tries to make excuses before the game's even bloody started. So look, so we go to Everton. It's going to be an interesting game. Everton, I mean, look, Everton have been, look, they've had some good results, Everton. They've played well. They beat Forest. Um, I'm going to give them credit. They have played well in games and they have looked good. Against Man United, when Man U were 1-0 up, if they took their chances, they would have beaten Man United that night. But the problem is, they couldn't put their chances away, and Man U scored theirs and won the game comfortably. But that was never a 3-0 game because, as I say, if they'd put them chances away, they could have probably won that game hands down, Everton. And that's what happened. They didn't take their chances and their heads dropped. And once the penalty went in, that was it. It was game over. So, look, we're going to Everton, and obviously, one guy who's going to be the talk of Everton, well, the talk of the game, and not that he has to go there and prove a point, because he doesn't have to go and prove a point, because he's shown why he is the best left winger, English left winger in the Premier League, and that is Anthony Gordon. And there he is, kissing the badge. Now, look, he's going there full of confidence. This player is on fire, and look, I think we're going to see a massive performance out of him, and he's going to go out there and he's going to show the Everton fans exactly what they missed. And if he scores, I think he will celebrate. I think he will, because why should he not celebrate? Because that club didn't deserve him. The way they treat him, the way the fans treat the players. We saw the scenes when Yerry Mina went down the street and the fans surrounded his car and he got out of his car and spoke to the fans. I mean, he was very brave to do that, because you don't know what people are carrying these days, as in weapons. But look, Anthony Gordon was treated bad by their fans towards the end. It was a very toxic atmosphere. I didn't blame Anthony Gordon for 1 minute if he wasn't training. And look, Everton wanted 60 million for him. We got him for 45. We knocked them down. And I think we got a bargain. You could see it's bargain of the century, this, because, look, I think he's worth more than £45 million now. Definitely is. And he's going to get better. Roly, your thoughts? Anthony Gordon going back to Everton.
I hope he scores a hat-trick in front of the Gladys Street end. I mean, everything you said, right, they really treated him badly, particularly the fans. And as you say, he's probably the best English left winger in the country at the moment. And the thing you've got to remember, he's only 22.
Yeah.
So it's nowhere near his peak. And he's playing, he's arguably been our best player this season so far.
Yeah, yes.
And he's starting to score goals. I think he scored more goals this season than he had in his entire time at Everton. Right, it was just breaking into the first team. But again, you've got to take your hat off to the...
And that picture says it all.
The scouting team, Dan Ashworth, Amanda and Mirdad and Jamie for getting the deal over the line. He's in such a short time has become a far better player than I thought he could be at this point in his career.
Yeah.
But it'd be great for him to get a hat trick in front of the Gladys Street.
It would be fantastic, Roly, wouldn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Just to rub it in.
It would be. Yeah, definitely. I have got something for the end of the show, by the way, so make sure you do stay for the show, because it'll be a laugh at the end. Anyway, so as I say, Everton haven't been too bad. Yes, we know they've got this points deduction. Are the Premier League corrupt? Flag's going to be out there in force again in the little placards that they had the last time against Man United. we know it's always a hostile atmosphere down there. We know the fans, what they're like. There's always trouble. I mean, look, Sean Dyche, the factor of Sean Dyche, he's making his mark on Everton now. And they are playing better this season, if in all honesty, than they did last season under Dyche. But thing is, I can see us. I can see us winning this game, Roly, anyway, because the way we are playing, we're playing full of confidence anyway. And we will put our chances away, let's be honest.
I think Everton are one of these teams that are fragile.
Yeah.
And that when the game's level or they're in front, they're tough. They'll fight for everything. Once they go behind, it's all sorts starts to fall apart. You get 2-0 up, and it could easily end up 5 or 6. But, I mean, if we go at them and get an early goal, they'll crumble like they did last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, Roly. I totally agree. Totally agree with you on that one. I mean, look, as I say, they've had some good results this season. And they haven't played too badly. Mikalenko seems to be scoring a couple, chipping in with goals as well. The left back, so it is all to it is all to play for.
I mean,
yes, they did beat a Forest team.
I was just going to say they're fortunate that they're getting the points deduction this season, because I think that some of the teams at the bottom are so bad, I think they can get out of it, unfortunately. But if it happened last season, the season before, they'd have gone down. The Premier League dragging their heels again. And all this thing about Premier League corruption, what a load of bollocks. They knew the rules. They agreed to the rules. They broke the rules. They admitted they broke the rules. They got a 10-point penalty when it could have been 12. So they've been lenient on them. And they're moaning.
Yeah. I mean, they've had wins this year against like Bournemouth. They beat West Ham away 1-0. So they've had some good results this year. They beat Palace away as well, 3-2. But again, look, Palace haven't been on fire this season either. So I definitely think we can go there and we can beat them. I mean, look, we know they've got some decent players in the team. We know at the back, that central defensive partnership isn't too bad between Branthwaite and Tarkowski. They've got that Abdoulaye Doucouré, who's one of the who just annoys me to fuck, because he always seems to bloody be on the right end of it. He always seems to be there and scores the bloody vital goals, doesn't he? Like he got the goal last season that helps them keep up by beating Bournemouth 1-0. So, look, we got to be on our guard. We just got to hope Calvert-Lewin's playing the catwalk and then he doesn't do anything. But I'm sure we can contain him. They've obviously got T-Rex in goal. Hopefully he can't get his little arms near a Trippier free kick. So again, we just have to wait and see what happens, Roly. But who's the danger, do you think, for the Everton team that you're worrying about against us? Or are you not worried at all?
I'm not really worried. No one that makes me look scared of. Obviously, Doucouré can hit them. McNeil has been getting in the goals, but there's no one You think, oh God, we've got to look out for him. We've got to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
I'm not that good. But we've still got to turn up. If we don't turn up, another Bournemouth will happen. And we can't let that happen because, oh God, this will be a nightmare up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you know, there's rumours going around that Wilson, Longstaff, Barnes back this week, but I can't see it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I can't see Wilson being back already, not when he's been ruled out till at least January. His return date's the 13th of January, supposedly, so I can't see that happening.
I think it all depends on how bad, because no one really said how bad the injury was. I mean, they said, was it 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Which would 4 to 6 weeks would be sort of like, the earliest would be in a week or so's time, or January.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Roly. So the officials for Thursday, the refereeing, Tim Robinson's the referee. Now, he refereed a game a couple of weeks ago and he looked pretty decent, actually, to be fair. So he's one of the new referees and he seems okay. So referee is Tim Robinson. Assistants are Stuart Burt and Dan Cook. The fourth official is Darren England. Let's hope he's wide awake for this game and he's not falling asleep because he's been to Saudi Arabia or wherever. VAR is David Coote, who refereed our game in that Carabao Cup final. And the assistant of VAR is Matt Wilkes. So that is the lineup. Tim Robinson is the referee for our game on Thursday at Goodison Park, which, by the way, will probably be our last game at Goodison Park because they move to their brand new shiny stadium next season. In what league? Could be the Premier League, but it could be the Championship.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be the Championship.
Yes, absolutely. Right, I'm going to delve into some comments and see what people are being saying since I came out. Yeah, so I remember a Mackham who applied for the Sunderland job due to his experienced Championship manager. Splat says, do we have any players back yet? That's the thing, we're not sure. Ronald says the A1 is quicker out of Sunderland, the Durham Road. Trevor says, how come most Everton fans are having a go at AJ for leaving as they were telling him to leave? So I hope he scores and rubs it in their face. Absolutely. Julie says Botman, Wilson and Barnes are in light training. That's good news. AJ May player of the season, says Mighty Mag. Trevor says give him time and he could be the next Gaza. Best player in the Prem at the minute, Mighty Mag. He is, absolutely. Lee says Gordon, well worth the money, outstanding for us, deserves an England call-up. Over Rashford, he does, absolutely 100%. We got to keep him for his full career, and I think he will want to stay. Yeah, I think he will as well, Mighty Mag. Absolutely, totally agree. Splat says, I want AJ to go to Everton and prove his true worth. Absolutely, and I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
Ronald says a few more fans were slating we signed Gordon and Al, and I couldn't believe it. How he most knew Eddie would improve him. That's what I said when I'd done my video on him. And I said, look, give him a chance. At the time, he was a rough diamond. He just needed smoothing out. I said, give him a chance and let's see what happens. And do you know what it is? He's proved. And do you know what? I haven't got a problem with fans who have turned around and said they weren't happy about the signing of Anthony Gordon, right? And I'll tell you why I haven't got a problem, because it's all about opinions, and that was their opinion. And if those fans walked up to somebody and said, look, I actually said I didn't want him, but now I hold my hands up and say, actually, wow, what a player. I'm so pleased we got him. That's great, because that means that fan has actually been honest by saying he underestimated how good Anthony Gordon was. And, you know, it's like anything. If you do something wrong, but you hold your hands up to it, at least you're like, wow, you know, you're admitting, hang on, I was wrong. And, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of our fans out there probably doing that now, holding their hands up and saying, sorry, we got this totally and utterly wrong. And, yeah, I ain't got a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Ronald says, us and the sports have the same recovery time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everton are a pub team, ironically managed by a pub owner, Phil Mitchell. We walk all over them 4-0. Sunderland may get monkey heat back. Peter Reid with a monkey seed. He took the banter well, to be honest. Jesse did. He loved it, didn't he? He's next Evertonian as well. He was a very good player, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, was captain them to the league title in the 80s.
Yeah.
Very good player. Very good player.
Yeah, absolutely was. Watch them give Kevin Phillips a gun on Lee. In reality, we should stuff them, says Gary, where Mel's better than in every position. And as teams, there's no competition. Yeah, absolutely. Won't you heed the Everton legend? The ref is a Man United fan, hates a tune, so the ref is Everton's 12th man. I'm not sure Tim Robinson's a Man U fan. When there was things about David could be Man United related. Ronald's put the T-Rex on there. Peterborough United fan, there you go. Wayne says, evening Tony and Roly and all in chat late, but no, you're absolutely fine, mate. Good evening to you, Wayne. Hope you're well. Everybody's saying hi to Wayne. Julie says, I was curious as to why at first, especially after he squared up with Trippier and Shaw when we played them. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But it was all it's part of the game, isn't it? So, you know, we all remember that very well. Many do admit they were wrong, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely, Ronald. Julie says, who would have thought he'd be our little gem? Absolutely. Yeah, Tony, I was not sure about Gordon, but massively wrong. But do you know what it is, Wayne? That's excellent, because this is what's all about, and this is what's great about football. And when you've got fans, you know, and you are right. In some ways, you're probably right to have doubts, you know, like, oh, would he cut it in Newcastle, and you know, can he be a better player? And you do have it's like called a nagging doubt. But when the player actually does something and it's actually turned it around and said, no, I'm going to show you I'm a bloody good player, and then you hold your hands up and you say, I got this wrong, then there is no shame in that whatsoever, mate. No shame whatsoever. You know, and that's fair enough. And, you know, well done for saying that as well. If we get Phillips, Eddie could work his magic as he did on Gordon. Yeah, but do we need Phillips? That's the thing, and he has injury problems, so I'm not sure. Apparently, Jermaine Defoe wants the Sunderland job. Apparently, Sunderland want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's manager. Nice to hear Predator doing well. Is he doing well? He's not been in this chat for a while. Has he had his operation? Does anybody know?
He said on Toon with me that was having it last week.
Oh, okay.
He had it last week, so yeah, it's good that he's doing well.
Yeah, Trevor said, I remember the first match as he kicked off or coming off in the second half. Yeah, that was against Brentford, wasn't it? But again, he learned his lessons from that. Ian says, I always knew Gordon was a good player, Tony, honest. Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine, Ian. No, I'm just saying, it's, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, Anthony Gordon he's proved a lot of people wrong, and that's the thing. And no harm in that whatsoever. If anybody thinks they got it wrong, there's no harm in that whatsoever. To put it right. Now then, he's had the op. He's doing okay. Excellent work. Excellent. Hope to see him back on the channel soon. Pete, hi mate. Hope you're well. He says Botman post on Instagram last few steps could be a sign he's closer to returning. Excellent one there, Pete, and hope you're well, mate. And Pete, get your thoughts in, Pete. What's your thoughts on Sunderland sacking their manager? How happy has that made you? Because Sunderland are just a gift that keeps on fucking giving every day. There's always something. It's like EastEnders, isn't it? It's like soap. It's a drama every day. So, Sunderland, a gift that keeps on giving. Trevor says, like I said, if Leeds go up, we take 6 points off you, lol. Okay, Trevor, dream on, mate. We'll see you next season if you come up. Gary says Sunderland should get a manager who's working his way up the National League North.
Oh, it's 2-2 at Luton.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Splat says, I heard Cabbage Heat was the Sunderland mix for the manager. Yeah. What, you mean this guy? Him? Yeah. Absolutely. Why not? I hope he does get the job because I want to go there and, well, not me personally, but I want us to go there and absolutely smash them. And then stick it on Brucey Boy. Because Sunderland can have their Brucey bonus. Oh, Brucey bonus. Can't do the Bruce Forsyth impersonation, unfortunately, guys. So sorry about that. I think Cabbage Sheed would be a good fit for the Mackhams. Absolutely. Pete says he was doing a fine job. I mean, yeah, he did do okay there, Mowbray, didn't he? But I don't know what's happened. I really don't. 2-2 Mason saying 40-1 for Cabbage Sheed. Good bet. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that the fans take cabbages to throw at him, says Trevor. Well, when Aston Villa done that, nothing was said in the media, but as soon as we turned on Bruce, it was a whole different ball game. Bruce is a family man. He's a lovely man. Yeah, okay, whatever. These are full of drugs, 2 EE and 1 LSD. What do points make? Absolutely, Julie. Absolutely. What do points make? Yeah, we know what points make. It's a Brucey bonus, yeah. He could either go higher or lower. Or he could go, keep dancing. Couldn't he? I mean, Roly, in terms of the match, how do you see it going on there? How do you see the match going?
Well, we're going to try and start fast. Get in front. I think the problem they have is they haven't got many goals in them. So they defend, but if they go behind, they've got to come out. I think that's the key to it, getting in front and then just exploiting them when they try and get something out of the game. I think that we'll win.
Yeah.
It could be relatively comfortable. So I'm thinking 3-0. I'd love it to be a Gordon hat-trick.
3-0. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to make it tough, as they always do, because they'll scrap and they'll fight. But once they go behind,
yeah.
I mean, We should have too much skill, too much ability for them. But they'll try and make it a scrap.
Mm. Yeah, they will do. Yeah. Again, we'll see. They will try and scrap, but let's hope we're above all that and we just get the job done. I think if we go 2 goals up early, they'll fold.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you say that, Roly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that happen. Get 2 early goals, they'll just absolutely fold, and that'll be it, and it'll just be whatever. I wonder if Alexander Isak will do another dribble run again.
Oh, that'd be
The
good.
interesting thing is, yeah, wouldn't it just, yeah. So, obviously, we have no Nick Pope, unfortunately, on Thursday. So, 2 keepers in the frame for starting on Thursday. First one up there is Martin Dubravka. And also you have Loris Karius as well. I mean, look, 2 great goalkeepers as backup, by the way. I do rate Karius. I mean, look, go back to that Champions League. People keep talking about that, but the guy had concussion in that game. So, you could sort of see it. And I mean, he pulled off some good saves in that Carabao Cup final. And he went in that final under a lot of pressure. I mean, before the game started, in the warm-up, because a ball went under his body, the Daily Mail said, even in the warm-up, he's already failing. And I thought, for God's sake, come on. Give the guy a chance. Stop knocking the guy. So, yeah. So, these 2 are now for a number 1 spot in the team. I think Dubravka probably starts on Thursday.
Yeah.
But again, it's great to see that we've got Dubravka and we have Karius as well. Right. Let's get into some comments here. There's been a delay. Kenneth Lewis Road. The ball's gone over the fence. Neighbours have said they can't have it back. I remember when you used to kick a ball and you score the neighbour's garden and you see we're going to put a knife through it and say, "Oh, fuck off!" Or the pair of scissors, At least as I can see us winning 4-0. This time I'd like to see Isak run through the whole team instead of just half of it, says Gary. 1-0 Isak, says Julie. 49 Gordon, Almiron, Trippier missed training today apparently. Ronald says, my old Irish mucker, Patsy has a last engineer asking how old Bruce Forsyth was when he died. Higher, lower, or lower, or higher?
It's 3-2 to Luton.
Is it?
Yeah. They just scored.
Fucking hell. Bia says 4-0. I think 2 for Gordon and 1 for Miggy, says Splat. 4-1 Newcastle, says Ronald. Ian says we just hope they don't miss chances like that. Man U will go 2-0. I think the ones in the bag, Gordon will want to stick it right up there. Everton fans, absolutely. Stephen Field, hi mate, hope you're well. He says, how did Man U beat Everton 3-0? We should win, even with our injuries, and bring it in the Templar plate. Do you know what? You're absolutely spot on with that, Stephen, because, look, Man U weren't great against us. They weren't great against Everton, in all honesty. Let's be honest. Yes, look, Garnacho scored a worldie against them, and look, I'm not going to take that away from him. That was a fantastic goal from a 19-year-old kid. But look, if it wasn't for Manu on the goal line, that probably goes in. That probably gets Everton's tails up, and then they may go on and win that game. But yeah, it certainly wasn't a 3-0 game for Man United, that's for sure, because they weren't that great. Pete says, Dubravka, Trippier, Lascelles, Shea, Livramento, Bruno, Joelinton, Miley, Gordon, Almiron and Isak will be the lineup. I think I'll go along with that as well there, Pete,
Yeah.
with the goalkeeper being the only change. 3-2, Luton says Ronald. Wayne says 4-0, could be more. Gordon, Trippier, Isak. Ross Barkley scored.
Yeah, the keeper should have done a lot better. Gone through him.
I remember he was in the squad as the next big thing. Ross Barkley was, yeah. He went to Chelsea, and I think that's ruined his career, hasn't it? Chelsea,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think we'll win this game. I really do. I'm saying 3-0. I can see Dubravka pulling off a few great saves, but I think we win this game comfortably, and I think we can.
Think that Everton are going to have a few shots on target?
Well, they'll try.
Yeah. Not many teams have had many shots at target, but a lot better attacking than Everton.
Lee says it went under.
It went
the keeper.
The
England are 6-0 up on Scotland now. It's Hampden Park. Gordon will be well up for this. Will Arteta cry? Probably. Bronze just scored. Lucy Bronze, yeah. Yeah, she's been a cracking right back for England. Lucy Bronze has.
3-2 now.
So, yeah. Hey, 3-all.
Yeah. Oh, it's that little Dick Havertz.
What, scored, has he?
Yeah.
Jesus, it's some game, this, isn't it?
Mm.
Right, so what I was going to say was, obviously, I've got this to show at the end. I thought, let's put this up for a laugh. Right. Now, let's all laugh at Sunderland, because we always laugh at Sunderland. And one thing that never gets old is, do we remember a few years back, I think it was, probably back to 2016, it was when we won the championship. And do you remember them two Sunderland women, one with a gap in her teeth, and they goes, oh, we're in the Premier League, they're not. Well, actually, we're in the Premier League, you're not. Now, the two girls in question, I call them the Ugly Sisters because they're from Sunderland, so fucking ugly anyway. Here we go. There you go. Look at the pair of them two. Look at them. Do you remember them two, Roly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The Ugly Sisters. And, I mean, the one on the right looks like a bloke, doesn't she? Well, it might be brother and sister. My sister is your brother.
Mm.
But yeah, we all remember them too. Get them off because they're ugly as hell. I don't want to be screen cracked. I wonder what they've got to say now on the manager situation. I bet they're saying nothing. But that's something for you, That's something for you. Let's get up to the comments because I bet there's some good comments coming on this. Havertz 3-3, Norse Julie. Not Havertz. Julie says, let's all laugh at Sunderland. Julie says, the hillbillies probably Siam's finest. Trevor says, looks like the lasses from Fizz, two fat slacks. Gary says, two faces even a mother couldn't love. Ronald says, the hills have eyes. Yeah, we're in the Premiership, we are. You could catch diseases from them too. God, Jesus, yeah. Great Britain's out the Olympics, says Ian. How's that to do with that's to do with the Netherlands win, isn't it? So it doesn't matter what England are doing. Netherlands are 4-0 up on Belgium. It's ended with the England score 6-0, by the way. Still a long way to go in this game between Arsenal and
Yeah, it's about
Luton Town.
20, just under half an hour.
Wayne says inbreeds. Splat says, hell's teeth, I thought it was a hinge in a bracket. Mason says they're probably from Pennywell. At least it's what a pair of clips, Arthur and Martha. Holland won 4-0, the Netherlands 4-0. Yeah, the rake pair, aren't they, Roly?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to meet them in the dark alley, would you? Jesus.
I wouldn't like to meet them in a light alley, let alone a dark one.
I mean, when you look at the picture, right? The one that's on the right with like the gingery hair, she looks like she actually works in the stadium machine because she's got like a tie on and that. And, so she obviously works in there. The other one looks like somebody who sits on the door all day because she looks that type, doesn't she, with a gap in her teeth, and she's got the tooth missing in the middle, you know. Maybe she's done a bit of DIY dentistry because she couldn't be about to go to the dentist, so probably tied a bit of string and slammed the door shut. Trevor says it's when you used to go out with your mates and bet who could pick up the ugliest bird your mate wins. Gary says something. Sad thing is, they're the two Mackham's cheerleaders. I bet, Julie says, I bet they used to go to the Blue Monkey on the weekend. Splat says, please use them to keep the fans back. I'll tell you what it is, though. If you want to keep the burglars away from your house, put that picture on your window, they'll not come in then, will they? They'll say, oh, no, thank you. Look at the guard dogs. They'll see guard dogs on patrol. BS says, I thought they were Chipper's girlfriends. What Chippers? God, hell no. Stop lying, Tony. No, thank you, Ronald. Not at all, mate. No. Jesus Christ. Standards, mate. Standards. Not that standard. Fucking hell. One photo to keep the kid away from the fireplace. Ronald says he went to the Blue Monkey. That's what they call Peter Reid, isn't it? The Blue Monkey, Everton player. Monkey's head. That's probably where they got the name from, the Blue Monkey. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows, though. But Trevor says they don't need a mask for Halloween. Certainly not. They wear it all year round. All the sun and bashing, it's great, isn't it, Roly? Isn't it great to have... Do you know what, though? When it comes to the game, though, against Sunderland, it's going to feel real, isn't it, again? Because it's going to be like, yes, we've got a derby game coming up. You're going to have that excitement for a derby.
I don't know, because before... when we had the last derby, it was almost a case of thinking, oh, God, are they going to bloody screw us again? It's such a bad feeling if you lose the derby, but this time it's not got, because we're levels above them. It doesn't seem as exciting. We're not even in the same league, so it's not as exciting as it could have been.
It's down for a 3 p.m. kickoff, so it's looking like it's not going to be televised, but that's going to be changed to 12:30 because the police won't want people drinking all day and then going to the game.
Yeah, I was surprised. I expect it to be changed. It's one of the big ties of the round.
I think it will be on TV. To be fair, I can't see them not putting that on TV because that would be stupid not to. Julie says some of my friends used to go. I never went. Stephen says Luton spent 10 million on ground improvements. Bulldozers aren't that expensive. Saw them too in Pizzazz and Sun and never went back. Splat says they would still be ugly after 20 pints. Was a nightclub in Sunderland. Gary says, imagine. Oh, Gary, no, for God's sake. So, Roly, imagine this, Roly. Imagine waking up to next to one of them after a night on the beer. You'd never drink again.
Oh, definitely not. Oh, dear.
Jesus, Gary.
I'm trying to keep that image out of my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Julie says too many Nissan car fumes made them look like that. David says, so where do you guys think who is better, Lewis Miley or Elliot Anderson? Look, Elliot Anderson had a great pre-season. I thought. I still rate Elliot Anderson.
It's not really a fair.
It's not really, no.
Because they play sort of different roles. I mean, I think
Lewis Miley.
I think at the same age, I think Miley's ahead of where Anderson was at the same age.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so, definitely. I mean, look, with Lewis Miley, I think for his age, he's well ahead of his time of his age because for a 17-year-old, the way he thinks in the game, I think is absolutely fantastic for a player of his age, for so young. Jeff Stelling's even said on TalkSport, he said, look, if Miley continues to play like this, you know, and he goes on to have a great season for Newcastle, Jeff Stelling says don't rule out him being on that plane to the Euros. And Ali McCoy sort of said, I'm not so sure though. And he said, Jeff Stelling said, well, I am. He says, because, you know, remember when England took Walcott with them and he was 16, he says, so, look, he said, what's to say Miley doesn't go because he might give Gareth Southgate a different dimension and think, oh, hang on a minute, yeah. So, and I thought, do you know what? Let's see how he goes in the season first of all. That's what you got to see first. Then we worry about that at the later stage. But if he doesn't go, I'm not worried. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think he's ready for the national team. I think everyone thought that it was weird when Walcott went to the World Cup. It was a really strange decision.
It was by Ericsson. And he never even played either, did he? So it was a waste of his space.
Yeah.
Ian says it's about to be on TV, this game. Miley definitely, says Julie. Splat says, Roly, just imagine them two in bikinis.
Oh, Splat, can you stop trying to get those images in my mind?
Roly's thinking of the ones on Roca Beach in their bikinis.
So,
Going into that cold North Sea. Julie says, I like Elliot, but right now Miley's what we need, absolutely. Ronald says, Lewis Miley for me. Anderson is a belter and all. Gary says, of course it'll be on TV. It's a standout tie of the round, absolutely. Must be bigger than Arsenal and the bin dippers. Yeah. Miley can read the game. He's fantastic for his age, says Lee, absolutely. Lewis says, you never know, he might even be picked for England in the summer. Well, that's what I'm saying, but, you know, let him just enjoy his game first of all. I'm only going off what Jeff Stelling said. And look, at the end of the day, I just want to see him improve his game and get better and better, which he will do. And for such a young lad, would I want him going off to the Euros in the summer? Not really. No, I don't think he's got plenty of time to play for England, let's be honest. Let him go through the under 21s and that first, or the under 19s. I think he'd be perfect in the under 17s or under 19s, let him develop. But, I can see where Jeff Stelling's coming from.
But you've got someone like Anthony Gordon who's playing out with skin, who's been one of the best players in the league, and he can't get in.
No.
So I very much doubt that Miley would be given a chance at the Euros.
Foxy says, hi mate, hope you're well. He says, let's just let Miley play and enjoy the game. Already under enough pressure as it is. Shouldn't be talks of England or generational talk. It's just what Jeff Stelling said, Foxy, yeah.
I agree with Foxy there.
Yeah, I do. Julie says, Jeff Stelling on TalkSport was excellent move by them. He's brilliant, yeah. He must have replaced Alan Brazil then. Bias says, Southgate picks his team, Panini sticker, Euro 2018 bookies taking Henderson, Maguire and Phillips. Everton versus Newcastle's on Amazon Prime, yeah, absolutely. Copyright. Bikinis, imagine them naked milkers on the floor. Tony Rooney was 17 and he scored and Colleen was watching him at school. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Mason. And now, Lewis, what time do we play? 7:30 kick-off on Thursday evening. That game will only be on telly if we are looking good in the youth department, but any other of our players under Southgate, no call-ups under him. 7:30 win, yeah, absolutely. So Wolverhampton Wanderers have beaten Burnley by 1-0. 75 minutes in the Arsenal game, and it's still 3-3 at this moment in time. As I said previously, the game on Thursday is on Prime Video. So Amazon Prime, if you're not a member, do join up. You can get a free trial and you just cancel it and it won't cost you a penny to watch the game. A good time to do it because remember, Boxing Day we play on Amazon Prime as well. So look, you'll get the 2 games this month if you sign up for them. Also, it's a 7:30 kickoff, and with it being on Amazon Prime, as I've said previously, if you have your phone on for goal notifications, I suggest you turn them off because I've had it before where they've scored the goal and I thought, well, I haven't scored because still 0-0, and then a minute later, oh, there's the goal gone in. So, and it does give you a bit of a spoiler. So if you have goal notifications, I would turn them off for this game because the stream's about a minute or two behind the live match. Trevor says Rooney would do them as he's had worse. well as can be. I feel like I've been hit by a bus, says Lewis. Get well soon, mate. Amazon have been cut out the new deal. Yes,
Yeah,
he
they
has,
have.
hasn't he? Julie said she noticed that. So Sky can take back control. TNT still don't have that many games. I mean, look, I like Amazon Prime's coverage. I think they're absolutely fantastic at their coverage of the Premier League. And since their coverage has been so good, everybody else copied what they'd done, like BT and, TNT Sports now. And Sky, where they have the studio outdoors now. Yeah, the pitch side. But, yeah, it should be a good game. And I'm hoping we go out and win that game comfortably. And I can't see why we can't. Eddie will have the team fired up and focused for that game. And it'll be interesting to see what Eddie Howe has to say tomorrow in his presser. Amazon for the Premier League games are way better, says Lewis. Yeah, absolutely. We'll come to the end of the show, guys and girls, but it's been a great show. If you have liked what you see and you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do so. It only takes a couple of seconds to smash, so please do give a thumbs up. If you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community we have here. And also hitting that bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. And if you do want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat, clicking on the $ at any time. And you can also join as a member anytime by clicking the join button, and it is only 99p per month as well. Okay, so coming up this week on the shows, not sure what's happening tomorrow, but definitely on Thursday, we will have the pre-match, so that'll be round about 6:15. We're bringing the team lineups. And on Friday, I won't be doing an Everton review show because I'm actually doing a Tottenham Hotspur Newcastle preview. And on the channel on Friday will be Harry Scarf from Scarfy Spurs Talk. So my mate Harry's coming on. My little mate. He's a great lad, by the way. You probably know of Harry when you saw him last season on the channel. He's 14 years of age, but his knowledge of football is absolutely spot on. He's a great kid. He's probably 15 now to be all in all. But yeah, for such a young lad, he's so mature for a young lad. Absolutely fantastic young man. And, do join in on Friday for that. And, and anything you want to ask on Spurs or whatever, Harry's the man, and Harry will answer your questions if he certainly can. He is a great lad, by the way. And so, yeah, absolutely. Right, let's get into some final comments before we go off. Sky's jealous, I think. Yeah, see you all later. Take it easy. Cheers. Gary, thank you very much. Great show, lads. Says Stephen, thank you very much, mate. Excellent show as always, guys. Thank you, Splat. We love taking the piss out of the Mackhams as well, don't we? Cheers, Tony and Roly. Great show. Cheers, Ian. Thank you very much, mate. Been a great show tonight, Tony and Roly and everyone. What a laugh. Big thumbs up. Absolutely, Ian. That's what it's all about. You've got to have a laugh. Life's too short to be miserable. Ronald says BT Sports also put the Champions League final on free on YouTube, and Sky would have been irked. Yeah, absolutely. Good night and take care. Yeah, thanks, Julie. And Mad Max says, great show. As always, take care, everyone. Yeah, you too as well. And remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And so anyway, it's a goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
Away the lads.